right, we're actually in class number 4 now. Wow, only 2 more classes after this. And just a little preview. Today I want to continue with basic fundamentals, and I really want to work on the stroke. But I do have some new drills that I'd like to show you that I think will be very helpful. But before we get to that, a couple of things that I really haven't covered yet that I think are real important. And if you want to, I would just grab a cue and just hold it and maybe try it on that table over there as I show you. You know, one of the hardest parts of playing pocket billiards is when your cue ball gets near the rail.
Oh, yes.
All right, you've already noticed that your tendency is, on a shot like this, when you get down on it, you tend to want to get down on the shot. Now, the cue ball is round, all right? And when you hit down on a cue ball, if you're slightly off even 1/16 of an inch, it's going to curve, right? So you're going to miss the shot, or it's going to deflect. So in order to reduce that possibility, we do everything exactly the same like our setup routine. And just basically forget that the rail's there. Center of the contact point of the 9, draw it all the way back, right foot on the line, left foot forward. But you notice when I lay my hand down, I don't lay it up here and elevate, do I? I'm simply using the contour of the rail. And again, it's real important that you don't get the hand too close like this because there's really no stroke. And it's more of a jab. Remember, when doing a good stroke, you absolutely must have a good transition after the four-stroke, backstroke into the four-stroke. And what does that mean exactly? You know, we've all learned when you watch a pendulum on a clock, it starts off with a nice deliberate takeaway, but as it gets to the back, it slows down. And that slowing down is the completion of the backstroke. And it transitions to a nice, smooth, accelerating follow-through. And again, that's why the stroke is so important and why good players look so effortless. They look like they're hardly even putting any muscle or anything into it. And it takes a lot of work because when you have a habit of a certain kind of stroke, it may take weeks of practice to overcome that. But let's just take this shot one more time. Contact point, center of my body, right foot on the line, swing down. And my hand is back here, so I can actually take a nice stroke all the way back. Smooth, like that. Oops.
Sorry.
No, good. It is fun to try to talk and shoot forward. Yeah. Let's do it one more time. Get 3 chances, right? 3 strikes and you're out.
That's right.
All right. Breathe and relax. Find my center of my body. Visualize the shot. Right foot on the line, swing down. You notice I always step into the shot too. And the key down here, once you get down, is if you're not on the line, stand up and start over again. I keep re-emphasizing that. Right foot on the line, swing down. Take some nice warm-up strokes. Stay down until you hear the ball hit the back of the pocket. Now you notice the cue didn't come up in the air. It went straight through. And that's what you want to work at. And I know a lot of you are having a hard time with that because your arm position is sometimes in an awkward place. Some people do it like this, some do it like this. But the ideal grip is just with the hand dangling from the elbow, relaxed, totally relaxed, like this. So, you know, when you're actually stroking, you don't have to worry about it going straight through. It's automatic. Because when you swing it back, it slows down, and you let it go. We call that releasing through the ball. Just like in golf, just like in tennis, just like in any other sport. So work on that. One other shot we haven't talked about, and this is real awkward, and these come up all the time as well. let's say you have stripes in the game of 8-ball now, and you got to shoot over a ball. Does anybody have any suggestions on how to shoot this? Everybody's going to be slightly different because physically our hands are going to be, some people have bigger hands, some shorter hands, some people's hands are more flexible, all that kind of thing. But one thing I did learn is when you're shooting over a ball like this, the best thing to do is just imagine the 6 balls not there. Okay. So I'm going to find my line on the 14, right foot on the line, swing forward, just like I'm going to shoot a normal shot. And once I get down on the shot, now I can see exactly where I'm hitting the 14. Then elevate. Now how do I elevate? I use my 4 fingers and spread them out, and I lay the cue along the thumb and the first knuckle like that. Now you don't want to elevate too much, that's too much. You just want to elevate just enough to get over the ball. Anyway, I didn't do that very well because my cue came up. Ideally, when you go through the ball, let's do it one more time. Swing down, get my line. Then once I'm down on the shot, then I elevate. So this cue should stay straight so it shouldn't come up in the air. And that'll be something to kind of look for when you're working with your partners.
Peter,
Yeah, go ahead.
in the game, if for example you are doing it over the opposite ball,
Yeah.
and the ball was, you touched it and it went somewhere out.
Yeah.
What does it mean for the game?
Okay, Nyla's talking about if you're in a tournament or a league or something like that. When you touch one ball, you just stop and you ask your opponent, do you want to move it back or leave it where it is? All right, and it wouldn't be considered a foul. But if you touch the cue ball, it's an automatic foul and the opponent gets ball in hand and on the table. But for us in this class, don't worry about that. All right? Remember, this class is fun. We're not going to be calling fouls on anybody. And I know a lot of you play for fun, okay? But if you get more serious with the game, like maybe Sherry will, I know she's talking about playing in a league or something like that, or I know you play in a league as well, then you have to be cognizant of those rules. Now, the other thing that can happen too, and I won't spend too much time on this, let's say you're shooting the 14, all right, and I get down and I move the 3 ball like that. Well, then you ask your opponent if they want to move it back. But what happens if I do this? Move 2 balls.
Now it's a foul. Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going to play that way in our tournament the last day. In fact, we're going to try to make it a teaching experience on the last day of class. Chuck and Nick are going to help us out. And while you're playing your game of 8-ball with an opponent, it'll be raise your hand and ask for help. And we'll be coming around to give you guidance on maybe what shot to shoot or that kind of thing.
What day is last class?
November 9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. We've got a few new drills here that I'd like to cover. Last time we did the L drill, and I know a lot of you were struggling with that. Now, some of you, I'd like you to continue to work on this drill. And simply what I'd like you to do is practice doing a stop shot on the ball on the exact middle. Practice going straight through, keeping the cue down, swinging down until you should fall in the back of the pocket. Then, I want you to just practice cutting the other 2 balls in from the spot. You know, that's a good practice drill for pocketing balls. Now, those of you that are more advanced, you can even do it like this. And we have a few players that can probably handle this right now. But the L drill can be as easy or as complex as you want to make it. Let's say you want to make all 5 balls. Now, there are 2 ways we could do this. We could start with the 14 and go around the horn like that, or start with the 5 and go around the horn like this. And if it ever gets to the point that that's easy, then we try to make them in rotation, which teaches us, I know that's a lot. And I'm not even going to demonstrate it because I might blow it. All right.
Nobody's perfect.
No. All right. Now, this is a demonstration. This is a drill that I'd like you to try as well. It's a simple side pocket cut shot. But one thing I really want you to learn in this class, by class number 6, is 3 basic shots. I want you to learn to stop the cue ball off the object ball. I want you to learn how to roll it forward, and I also want you to learn how to draw it. Now, a simple cut in the side pocket like this, I just want to show you what a tremendous difference where you hit the cue ball is going to affect what the white ball does. And while you're doing this drill, simply do all the pre-shot routine and aiming that we've all talked about. Get behind that 15 and see the contact point. Keep your eye on that contact point. But when you come back here, see the middle of the ghost ball. That's my aim point. So the middle of my body is lined up to that aim point. Breathe and relax, right foot on the line, swing down. Now, if everything's perfect right here, just take your warm-up strokes and go ahead and shoot it. Now, one thing I want you to notice, the cue ball hit this diamond, dude, right on that diamond. Now, can anybody explain to me why it went there? How did I hit the cue ball to make sure it took a perfect right angle into the rail?
Because where you hit it on the cue ball?
Well,
I really don't know.
you know, that's kind of a funny way to ask the question, but generally the cue ball, when it was sliding over here, it wasn't rolling forward or backwards. So when an object ball hits when a cue ball hits an object ball at an angle like this, it will always take a 90-degree line off that ball if it's sliding along the clock. So we call that a stun shot. A stun shot will always take that 90-degree line into that diamond. And that's why I put the ball in the exact center of the table. Now, the thing I want you to learn or try is now I want you to roll the ball. And I just want you to watch and see what a huge difference it makes. Because this is the whole idea of learning to control the white ball, which is something that's going to become very important at some point. So, I'm doing my entire routine, get behind there, find my aim point, right foot on the line, swing down. Everything looks good, but this time, instead of hitting it in the center, I'm going to hit it well above center. But I want you to notice what the cue ball does now. All right, that was like a diamond and 3/4 difference, wasn't it? Just by hitting the cue ball higher. All right.
Wow.
So now you're beginning to see how sensitive that cue ball is to where you hit it. Now, speed will affect it. I could probably almost scratch on this if I hit the ball soft enough. In other words, the harder I hit it, the less it's going to go forward. The softer will go a little more forward. Make sure my routine is down. Almost scratched. Okay, and I'd like you to just practice this one shot. Now, we're going to hit a backspin or draw shot. Can anybody tell me what part of the rail that the cue ball probably hit from here?
You probably scratch.
All right, let's see where it goes. Now, speed will help determine that. If I hit it real hard, it won't have time to draw. If I hit it medium speed, I could probably almost scratch. But I just kind of want you to get a feel for what happens when you put your cue on the vertical axis of the cue ball. Draw, stop, and follow. Okay, I got to remember my pre-shot routine. This is good for you. Because when you're not doing your pre-shot routine, that's when you make mistakes. Okay. All right, I see my line, see my contact point. Breathe and relax. Center my body, right foot on the line, swing down. Take my nice warm-up strokes. So it went a whole diamond's difference. Now speed will affect this. I'll try it one more time just to demonstrate it. And again, the lower you hit on the cue ball, the more backspin you're going to get. See, that time I hit it a little bit lower and I gave it more acceleration. But look at the difference. That stun shot hit the diamond here. A little bit of draw hit here. A lot of draw hit here. That's just one example of how much you can do just by keeping your cue tip on the vertical axis of the cue ball. You know, when I go to league, I'm always banging myself in the head because everybody's trying to use all this fancy English and stuff. And mistake after mistake. Ask Mick, ask Chuck. That, you know, it's fun to do all that fancy spin, but not until you learn how to hit the cue ball when you aim and master the vertical axis of the cue ball. Okay? That's what we want to do in this class. Any questions about that?
On the draw, so
Yeah.
when I'm doing the draw, I'm expecting the cue, I have been expecting the cue ball to come draw straight back. But doing the draw here, it is still coming, you know,
Well,
this way or that way. That,
Anytime your draw is at an angle, it's going to change, you know, change it
okay,
drastically.
okay,
But, you know, as far as the draw stroke, if you want to practice that, you can do the same setup with the drill
just do
and
it
maybe practice drawing it back different distances like this. But then again, if you're going to practice this drill drawing back, here's one thing I'd like you to do in the beginning. Kind of like what we demonstrated last time. Get to the side of the ball and just practice doing that. Because I know a lot of you are still that cue, the elbows dropping and the cue tips coming in the air. And that's going to destroy any backspin on the ball. Practice that a few times and just realize that it doesn't take a lot of stroke. As long as I accelerate through, I should get plenty of draw. You see, I look like I hardly hit that. But what I did do is I accelerated through the cue ball and the cue tip stayed low all the way through without going up. Any other questions? Is this is some of this maybe too much, or you know? Feel free to jump in. All right, one other drill I do want to demonstrate, and this is a simple cut shot, and this is kind of a fun little quiz we can do from this one. All right, the 10 ball is a basic cut, about a half ball hit. Okay. Now, if I hit a stop shot. Can anybody point to where on the rail my cue ball's going to hit? Or who would like to? Nyla, you want?
Second edge.
Which one?
Second.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, now, one thing I want you to remember about this is that remember, if I hit a stop shot, that cue ball will be sliding along the clock.
It's only going to go a scratch.
So a right angle is about 3.5 diamonds. Now, if I hit it with a rolling ball, it's going to start off at that angle, then the forward roll will make it hit even short of that diamond. If I use backspin, I can maybe bring the cue ball to this side of the side pocket. So every shot, when you learn how to control the cue ball, begins with what a stop shot will do. That's your starting point. And this is for advanced players. Earl Strickland, Corey Deuel, Shane Van, all the best players in the world, that's their first inclination. Where does a stop shot hit the rail? Okay. And we'll just do a quick test of that. I'll start out with a stun stop shot and see where the cue ball hits. Now, if I do a follow shot, let's see where the cue ball hits. Almost that second time. And if I hit a draw shot, and this is a really fun drill to try the draw, stop, and follow, and try to predict where your cue ball is going to hit. Now this one I might even be able to scratch. We'll see, it's going to be a draw. And you can see the cue ball started out here and curved. All that backspin kicked in. So again, fun drill, you know, to just try that. And it's going to be real hard at first, but that's how you get better. That's how you improve. And as far as getting better in pool, that's what it's about. Everybody asks me, well, Steve Miserak's famous for saying practice, practice, practice. But in order to be able to do that, you have to have a passion for or love for the game. That's the most important thing. And when you're playing, you don't get frustrated. Enjoy it. Okay? All right, any other questions?
Can we have dots on our tables? Have the dots on the tables?
Oh yeah, I got a whole package of them.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll come around and drop them off. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot, what was a stun shot?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's, maybe I didn't explain it that well because a stun shot is exactly the same as a stop shot. All right. This would be considered a stop shot when you're straight in, like that. A stun shot is when you're at an angle and hitting the same shot. It's called a stun shot. That's when it always goes at a 90-degree angle. So again, if I'm shooting a stun shot here, my cue ball should hit right about that middle diamond. So I'm going to go almost dead center. And that's really how that works. And again, it takes a lot of experience and practice to be able to control where the cue ball goes. All right. Anything about bridges or anything like that?
Oh, always bridges. You're always using the bridge.
Oh, I meant like bridges on the table.
Oh, gotcha. No.
Yeah. Now, a lot of you are on 9-foot tables here, so let us do a quick one on that. Especially on a 9-foot table, bridges are real important. I'm not a real tall player. I'm only about 5'9". But a lot of times, what people are doing now is they're putting extensions in the back of their cue. Now, that's okay, but that throws the balance off a little bit. So eventually, if you're going to be a good player, you'll have to learn how to use the bridge or the rest. Now, I'm not going to go into a long dissertation on it. The main thing to remember is number one, never hold the bridge in the air like this.
Oh, okay.
Why is that a bad thing? Well, what happens is if my right shoulder is moving here, this is going to move, isn't it? Plus, it's tension in my neck and shoulders by holding the bridge in the air. The number one thing is find your aim point just like you would on a normal shot, getting behind the one. But a critical part of using the bridge correctly is once you've got it lined up and everything, not at the target, but just out of the way, you put your left hand or right hand, depending, over it. And you want it directly in the center of your body like this. Never hold it in the air like this, because that's going to be hard and create all this tension in your shoulders and all that. You just hold it flat onto the plane surface. Just like before, it takes a nice warm up.
So like when I'm
Yeah.
shooting pool, a lot of times, you know, if I can like keep one foot on the ground and lay across without knocking in the pool ball.
Yeah.
obviously, lay across, you know, across the thing. Is it better to do that than use the bridge? You know,
Well,
like taking, you know, I'm coming way up here. It's just like that, you know, or would it be better to use the bridge?
well, a lot of times it would be, because there's rules in the pool, you got to have one foot on the floor.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But a lot of times,
Yeah.
like you say, you know, stretching is like, here's a good example of that. Like here, if I was left-handed, this would be real easy to shoot the one ball. But in this particular shot, you know, it helps to establish a little flexibility. Like people ask me, what's the best exercise for pool? It's doing yoga and stretching, because you do a lot of it, right? So in this case, instead of using a bridge, I would do this. I'd put my left leg up under there like this and stretch out and still keep one foot on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking.
Yeah.
It'd be better to do
Yeah.
that than try
So
to
that
use the bridge.
would be much better than using a bridge, because you'd have more accuracy. Because using a bridge is an awkward movement for a lot of
Yeah.
people. Unless you're from England or Canada or one of those countries. They play snooker and they get really, really talented with bridges.
Except when you had your leg, you had it stabilized on the table. When you had yours, it was like.
But that's kind of
No,
what I was meaning.
I know, but if your leg's just up in the air, and I understand what you're saying, it's
Yeah.
because your body could then move when you start to draw back. I'm just
Right.
confirming.
Yeah.
So always try to stabilize your leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
In fact, if you're, I've seen the several players in the class that do this, they tend to put all their weight forward like this, like leaning on their arm like this. That creates a lot of tension in your body. When you're lining up for a shot and doing your setup and routine, you want to make sure your feet are balanced between 2 feet, because then your whole body, your shoulders, arms, and everything will be more relaxed. If you're leaning into the shot, it's going to create a lot of tension on the side of the body. And you notice I keep talking about that, creating tension in your body. If you're feeling that, something is wrong with your technique, all right? Because, you know, all good players have that one quality. When they're over a shot, ready to stroke, they're completely relaxed. But, you know, one of the things I learned early on playing pool was how important it was to have my weight evenly distributed. And from here, I feel very confident. Anything else? All right,
If you're
well,
gonna-
let's have at it.
Oh wait, I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If you're gonna play with the bridge, do you have to call it before you start the game, or can you just bring it in? To
Oh, you can use it. You can use it
And it's-
anytime.
okay.
Yeah. In fact, some players will do.
You know, the bridge in the game. Or...
Some players will do it even when they maybe don't need it because their hands aren't really big. I've seen this happen a lot. Where they can't get their hands over the ball, so they'll actually shoot a shot like this because their hands aren't big enough. You know, something like that.
What if you have balls on the table and you can't keep it flat? You have to lift it up. You're saying don't lift it up, but it's like, what if there's balls in the way, like on the table?
Oh, that's a good question. You should do this.
Finagle it in there.
Oh, okay.
You,
Or angle it.
in fact, that happens all the time, to be honest. See, on this shot, there's no way you could do that, so I would simply do this. I would put the bridge to the side, and I can still use it effectively. You know, this way, I don't want to take a chance of moving the ball, so I'll just slide it over like that. Yeah, I made one. Anyway, don't be afraid to use that. If you want some guidance, you know, Nick and Chuck will help us out. But go ahead and pick a partner and let's have some fun, okay?
Thanks, Chuck.
So what do we?